Okay, for this last technique, let's take a look at adding interactive Swift files to the logo panel in Articulate Presenter. And in this example, we've got a calculator in the logo panel. It's fully functional, so the user can make calculations based on the information on the slide. And also, because the calculator Swift is in the logo panel, that means it's going to be available to the user throughout the presentation, no matter which slide they happen to be on. And also, their calculations will carry over from slide to slide. So this is one example of an interactive Swift file in the logo panel. Now, this is the one technique in this series for which you will need to have Flash development skills or have access to someone who has those skills. So we're not going to create an interactive Swift file in this screencast. That would be far beyond the scope of this screencast and beyond my skill level. Rather, this screencast is to demonstrate that the possibility of using an interactive Swift file in the logo panel exists, and also to point out some guidelines for doing so, the most important of which is to review the Flash Movie Best Practices article at the Articulate website. And I will provide a link to this knowledge base article in the description for this screencast. Now, there are a few things in this article that may not pertain to the logo panel in particular, like the file dimensions, which refer to the dimensions of the slide in PowerPoint. Remember that the maximum dimensions for the logo panel are 244 pixels wide by 324 pixels high. So you'll want to bear these dimensions in mind as you're developing your interactive Swift files. Also, I'll let you review the rest of this best practices article, but there are a couple of things that I want to point out. Be sure to use ActionScript 2.0 or lower, since Studio 09 does not support ActionScript 3. Also, it's recommended that you do not use references to root or level 0 in your code, because that could interfere with the functionality of the presentation itself. Which brings up the point that since the logo panel was not necessarily developed with this level of interactivity in mind, you will want to thoroughly test your interactive Swift file to make sure that it works as you expect, and also to make sure that the Swift file doesn't inadvertently interfere with the functionality of the presentation. So with all that in mind, this is just to point out that you can use interactive Swift files in the logo panel in Articulate Presenter.